So, hi everyone. So, whatever the time is, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Inside Afsar, just we are going to start the cybersecurity training program, and here we have this is what day one. So, this is basically a training program which give you idea about the security. So, for it, many programs are there in the market. So, the commonly used is what Security Plus, which is the course of the CompTIA. Now I'm going to share the screen to you so that you can see everything clearly. And here, just here you are, myself Afsar Khan, and just we have the good training experience in a training industry, and this is you are going to learn the cybersecurity day one program in the provided by the digital school for you. So this is what the here just you need to understand what is the importance of the cybersecurity in our interconnected world. So the cybersecurity is net. This is what it is used to protecting the computer systems and networks from the theft or any possible danger. You can say this is what it's a challenge for the computer network to protect from unauthorized access. Also, it is used to protect the damage or unauthorized access of any kind of theft, any kind of threat which is coming to the network. So you can understand it with the example like cybersecurity is like a shield that protects our computers and online information from bad guys. So what do you mean by the bad guys? The bad guys means hackers. A company basically they are nowadays installing firewall, IDS, IPS. These are basically for the security purpose. These are like a security gate, and these are used to block the hackers from entering its computer network. Now, just we are moving to the next. What is basically the security matters? So, security matters are basically increased reliance on technology in daily life and business. If you will not be able to rely, like if somewhere is easily they can attack to your network, your data is you leak. So in that case, you will not rely on the technology. So when you are working with the technology, you need to understand the security, and that should be installed in your network. The rise of the cybercrime and its impact on the individual and organization, it's basically the matters of cybersecurity. So for that you need to understand and you need to apply the cybersecurity devices in your network. Also, the skilled cybersecurity professionals are used to protect our digital world. So you know that everywhere, just if we have a network, then we can say the bad guys also there in the market. For that, we need skilled cybersecurity professionals so that they can protect our digital network or digital data. We basically uses the computer and internet from the almost everything nowadays. Everybody is using. You are using your mobile phone. In this, the most of the time you will be connected with mobile phone. So everybody is now. So if you have an Android phone, that means you have internet connection. On the most of the time, people they are basically connected with the internet. They are not disconnecting their devices. They are continuously they have the connection with the internet. Once in a week or once in a 2 or 3 days, they turn it off or turn it on. Otherwise, they continuously working on internet. Everyone, if they are not you know they don't have the requirement of the internet, They are also working with internet. So for enjoy, for entertainment, for gaming, many purposes are there. Every child is basically they are using internet. So for that we need to protect our devices, personal information, credit card, debit card information. If you are using any app which is related to the bank, transactions information, your credit card numbers information. So many informations you store once you connect your machine, your device with internet and you install any app where just you need to enter all these things to work online. For example, online banking, shopping, social media, and infrastructure rely on secure system. A cyber attack on any of these have can have a serious consequences. So it's matter. Cybersecurity, basically, it's matter. Understand the basics of the cybersecurity. So first is what it's basically we look at the threat part of any infrastructure or any any network. If we have a network, then there is a threat. What is threat? Threat is nothing. It's a possible danger you can say, or the potential danger that can exploit vulnerabilities. Once you establish any network, most of the time you do this on a default configuration. In default configuration, you have multiple vulnerabilities are there from hackers. They can enter inside of your network, and it can be dangerous. What the meaning of vulnerability here? So vulnerability is it's nothing. It's a weakness in the system that can be exploited. Like for example, in your machine you have three user accounts, but you are using a single user account. So these user accounts are basically free and available. So this is what the weakness. If somebody will get these username and password, they can easily use your machine. So what you need to do, if you are not using these accounts, you need to block these accounts or you need to disable these accounts. This is what the vulnerability. Risk is what? This is nothing. It's a potential for harm or lose when the threat exploit a vulnerability. Very simple example. A threat is something that can hurt us, that can create a problem to the network. Vulnerability is a weakness that allows it to happen. It can be done wrong thing with your machine. And risk is the chance that harm will actually occur. So, for example, a threat, a hacker trying to steal data. This is what threat. They are trying to steal data, what you have in your network or in your server. Vulnerability is a software flow. What software you are using, what are the vulnerabilities inside. The hackers, they have idea about that. With the help of that, they can easily enter into your network. Risk is what? The hacker successfully steals the data. This is what the risk. If your data will be stolen, then you will have nothing. So this is what understanding of these basic terms: threat, vulnerability, and risk. Why is a cybersecurity professional? Why you need to be a cybersecurity professional? I think nowadays you don't need to be a professional. You should have idea about the cybersecurity, and everybody in the country they should have idea about the cybersecurity. Basic rules they need to know, because nobody will go to secure their devices and mobile phone to the professionals. So they need to be professional. They need to understand this. This is what the basic requirement of nowadays to protect from any cyber attack. So that's why I'm just explaining this so that you can easily understand responsibilities of the cybersecurity professionals. If you are going to be a cybersecurity professional into any organization, there are many responsibilities are there here. So the some common responsibilities you can see: protecting systems and networks, identifying and mitigating threats, what are the threats are possible and what threats are for your networks now in current situation, what the software and hardware you are using. Developing and implementing the security policies for the securing your network. So the cybersecurity professionals basically they develop the security policies, and finally they implement it to protect your network. Responding to security incidents, what the incidents are basically happening inside of your network, so they respond it. For example, cybersecurity professionals are like a digital security guard. In your home, physical security guards are there at your outside of the home. Everywhere you find outside of the colony and outside of any office, you see the security person. They stand for the security. The same way, in a network, a cyber security professional are like a digital security guard. A cyber security analyst monitors network traffic for the suspicious activities, while a security engineer designs secure systems. This is the work of cyber security professional. Here, this is very important how the cyber security professionals protect their networks. They use the defense mechanism to protect from any unauthorized access. So they work in defensive mode. So what is the security control? How they control it? So security control is that they use the multiple devices and software to protect their network from any type of threat or any type of type attack, cyber attack. The purpose of the security control in mitigating risk. So very simple, security control are action or tools that reduce the risk of a cyber attack. For that, what we do, the most of the time we basically the common and very common. If you are not a professional, you are using your computer and you want to protect your device or your network from any type of threat. So the very simple is just you need to buy a license of any good antivirus software and install antivirus software is a control that protects from malware. It's very simple. If no malware will come, virus will come to your machine, then there is a surety, uh, means not completely, but it will protect your network from any type of threat. Type of security control, here you can see that there are multiple type of the security control. Out of these we have three which are basically major and common. Technical control, administrative control and physical control. These are of three categories. If we talk about these control, these are basically used to protect our system using technology, rules and physical measures. Like very simple, if we are using firewall, this is what technical. If we are applying any policy in the machine, this user can access this user can access this user cannot do this. So we set the permissions and policies inside of the machine or operating system. These are basically administrative control. And if the server, we are putting the server in a room and we lock it physically, that is what physical control. So here we have three types of that security control. The one is technical security control, administrative control and physical control. Tag based security is what? It's a hardware or software mechanism used to manage security. So it is basically using the technology to protect the network and the system. What technology? Firewall we are using, antivirus software we are using, intrusion detection we are using, and encryption we are using to protect. This is what the technology we are using for the security, and these are basically security based technologies. Security rules, the policies, procedures and guidelines that define the security practice, like rules and guidelines people follow to stay secure. So what are the rules and guidelines? So the most of the time you can see in your mail, or you listen the message on your mobile phone, like they give you a message like, do not open any unknown link. It can be a virus, or after opening this link your machine can be, or your device can be hacked. So remember that once you are going to open any link. And then what is the rule? A rule is nothing. It's basically when any mail is coming to your device and you try to open it, you will get the notification. It can be dangerous for your device. So do you want to open it? Also, in this, some policies also we use, for example, password policies and training program. These are basically security rules where we give the password to the machine and just we set the setting for this specific password. The password length be of 8 characters, that should be complex. Okay, and in this you need to use the alphanumeric and hyphens, and that should be at least 12 characters. So, what is these are the rules you define for the security. These are security rules basically. Real world security. This is basically a tangible mechanism to protect the physical assets. Tangible security, the devices or the premises infrastructure which we can touch, and we use these devices or the servers in a, in a specific server room where we set the physical security over there. And this is basically what the uh, tangible mechanism to protect the physical assets. Protecting physical items or the location, this is what tangible mechanism, like locks, security cameras, fences, biometric access control, all these. Putting control in a place, the process of selecting, implementing, and maintaining security control. Putting our defense into action and keep them working. Installation and upgrading or updating a firewall regularly so that it can work continuously and properly. So upgradation is required. So what is the upgradation? Basically, after developing a software, so R&D team basically they do research and development to check the loopholes and so betterment of the software, how we can perform, we can get the more result with the help of this particular software. So they launch a update to improve the performance of the software and to make it more secure if there is any loophole. Best way for the security control. So first is what the principle of least privileges. Give the least privileges to access to your network or devices. Defense in depth. So the more security device you need to implement. Regularly update the system and all software and applications which you are using in your machine. Give only necessary access. This is what the principle of least privileges. Defense in depth is what I use multiple layer of the security like firewall, IDS, IPS, any other whatever the security devices are required to protect your network. You can use the multiple layer of that. And regularly update is what? And this is what if there the updates are available for your software, for your application, any app, you need to update it as soon as possible. Only certain employees can access file. This is what the principle of least privileges. They have the permission, they can access only. We will not allow this particular a single file to everyone. Not for specific we set it. Use both firewall and antivirus. Okay, so when they will open it, so it will pass through the antivirus and for best way of the security. Check our defenses, the importance of monitoring security control to ensure the effectiveness. So if we want to check our network is basically secure or not, so we do penetrating. We check the penetrating testing via text from outside, and we try to check it is basically the security system is working or not. So regularly checking to make the security or sure security means are working properly or not. So for that we do monitoring, penetrating, and what we are monitoring the logs and performance and vulnerability scans. Protecting your information, key concept here we have. If you want to protect your information, you have any information, file, data, picture, so you can protect it. Many ways are there. Some key concepts are there, very common, which is what? Encryption, access control. So you give the permission to the users, they can read it, they can write it, they can read and write, and modifications. So it's depending what the administrator gives the control on this particular file or information. Also, which is very important, backup and recovery. If the file is in your machine and you do not have backup, in case if your machine is compromised, if it is encrypted, your data is encrypted, how you will restore it? So it's very important you should have a backup for the recovery. Data protection keeps information safe from the theft and losses and or damage. Encrypting customer information using access control backup of data. This is what here we have. So whatever the customer information encrypted, give the using access control, who can use or who cannot use, and take the backup of this data. Scrabbling secret is what? This is nothing, it's encoding data to prevent unauthorized access. Encryption is like a secret code only you can read. This is what the method. Email password and encrypt it to protect them. This is the simplest way of secret your data and also secret your password. Controlling access, it's used to ensuring only the unauthorized users can view or modify the data. So we give the access to the only authorized users. They have the permission to access it. Access control is like bouncer, only letting in approved people using username, password, and biometric scan to give the access control. Data safety net, this is what creating copies of the data to restore after failure. Backup is like a spare copy of important file. You should take it, and you should take the daily backup to remote server in case of the crashes. It will be easy to restore it, and he will not lose any data. Okay, you need to take the daily backup. Any backup options are also there, but it's a very simple and common method. You take a daily backup on remote server, so in case of uh, any failure of the data, you can restore it easily. Why protect data? It's important. Why you are protecting your data, your credit card number, your personal information, your data of, if you are a company, then your vendors data, your customers data. It's, why it is, why protecting it, why you are going to protect data. So this is used to preventing identity theft, maintaining customer trust, and complying with law. Protecting data keeps people safe and build trust with the people and the customers. if you are a company. So company loses trust and faces lawsuits if it leaks the data. So they will become under the law if they lose any data to other and public. This is what why the protect data. Security rule security rule book, if we talk about this, is what internal rules of to protect the information. A policies company set of rules for staying secure. For example, employees must use the strong password and not share them. Also, the company set rules to access only to the files which the permission has they have the permission. Do not try to access any other files and folders or data where you do not have the permission. Educating users, so this is very important for the security. So the company they provide the training to the employees to understand threats and best practice. So what they do basically they provide the training to teaching the people how to avoid online dangers. So if there is any online danger, they can save themselves, they can protect from any type of attack. So this is what the training to identify the any type of attack. Here just you can see the phishing email attack. The threat landscape is what? Overview of the cybersecurity and key threat actors, hackers, cyber criminals, and nation and state insiders. Cyber threats keep changing and come from many sources. Cyber criminals steal for money. They steal for money. Data they steal for money basically. And nation state may attack infrastructure. Who are the hackers? That's very important to understand. Who are the hackers? There are the bad people are not hackers. The good people also hackers. But it's depending on their working profile and their works, basically what they do, why they do, how they do. What they do basically, they are doing this for to earn money. They are doing this to check the basically loopholes in the network. They are doing this for the uh, to checking the any illegal activities. So it's depending on it, and according to their work, there we can see that multiple types of the hackers are there. In this we have three categories: the black hat hacker, white hat hacker, and gray hat hacker. Black hat, these are the bad guys. White hat, good guys, and gray hat in between. So they are sometimes good, they are sometimes bad. So we call these are gray hat hacker. Black hats steal data. White hat help companies to protect their network and find vulnerabilities. And gray hat hackers, sometimes they work like a black hat hackers, sometimes they work as a white hat hacker. So we call these are not good, not bad. They are basically they work according to the situations. Criminals online, so these can be like any person, individual, or the groups using computers for illegal financial gain. They are basically the people who do the crime. Most of the time they do this for to financial gain. And sometimes also the criminals they basically do harms to other uh, companies. They do this. Online criminals, committed digital crimes. They basically do the digital crimes. Hackers steal and sell credit card data to the other persons so that they can use these credit card information for their personal benefit. Government backed hackers, so who get the support from the government, these type of hackers basically sponsored by the government. Some hackers work for the government to attack others, to other countries, to enemies, like military hacking into others countries power grid, or any technology what they are using, so to control it, to protect from them, and to, you know, to attack to the other enemy country. Enemy within, the people inside an organization who cause harm. Internal enemy, who are basically working inside the company and they are insider basically. Sometimes insiders are the threat for the company. These we call the enemy within. Employee delete the files or steal data. This is what. He is employee and he is deleting the files which are very important, and they are stealing the data for others. These type of people are the employees we call these are enemy within. Common cyber threats: malware attack, phishing attack, DOS attack. Okay, so these type of attacks basically these are very common threats. Threats include the harmful software, schemes, and service disruption. Ransomware locks files, phishing tricks. The people they basically create a problem once you are accessing your email. Those flood a website. Basically. It's a flood on the website. Means that the traffic will increase onto your website, which is basically fact traffic, which is not real traffic which is come to your website, and it will what? It will hang if the flood of the traffic will come to the website. Dose flood. Bad softwares like viruses, worms, trojaners, ransomware, spyware. Malware harms computers to steal information. This is used to steal the information. Ransomware locks the files until payment is made. This basically encrypts the file. Hackers, what they do basically, first they take the control on your machine. First they control on your machine, and they basically use any trick by which they can encrypt your data. After encrypting it, they save this particular key with them, and when you will be in the trouble with any other source, they will send you a mail. We have the solution if your machine is encrypted, if your data is logged with the help of ransomware, we have the ability to unlock it. So if you are interested, then we can give you the solution. If you will say, yes, we want the solution, our machine or server is basically logged, or we have the basically we are not able to access the data, and data is very important to us. They will ask for the money, and you will say yes. Once you will give the money to them, with the help of this the encryption key, they decrypt your network and they will provide you or decrypt your data, and they will provide you your original data to you. So these are basically professionals who are using the bad softwares to make money. Tricking users, basically phishing trick people into evaling information. Revealing information means phishing is like a scam mail. It's a scam email, fake email you can say, asking for bank login details. The mail will come to your account like just this is the mail from your original bank, but this is not from the original bank. So they can write like we are from Axis Bank, and dear customer, you are getting a new support to you, and in this we are giving you this much of the percentage interest into your account. For that you need to fill these details and back to you. As soon as we will get this information, we'll revert back to you for after approval. And if you fill these details and you submit it, this information will move to the hackers, and they are using basically trick. This is these type of the hackers. These are tricking users. They are using different tricks to collect the information. Overwhelming system. This is what the DOS attack floats. If DOS attack floats system to shut down it, because if the traffic will come to the server and if it is not able to respond, then what will happen? The server will go down or it will hang. It will stop replying because the capacity of the server is full. And after, if the continuously the flood of the attack is coming on the web server, what will happen? It will down, shut down, or it will down. It will not reply to the authorized user as well as. So DOS is a like traffic jam blocking a website. Hacker crash a website by flooding it with the traffic. Here the stay ahead of the curve. The threat intelligence helps to identify threat early. If you will identify threats early, then you can protect easily and you will have a time to protect your machine. And this is used to threat intelligence. It's like a weather forecast for attack. The attack is going to be happen now. Just you can activate or alert the your devices or software or hardware. Security companies share the alert about new threats. If any threat will come to my network, I will update it to the other companies. The threat is coming. Okay, aware. If any threat will come to you, then ready for that. Don't believe in it. Knowing the enemy. So proactive security and understanding attacks improve the defense. These are basically proactive. You can say these are basically for pen testing. My network is secure and my security system, my firewall, my IDS, intrusion detection devices, IPS preventing devices, these are working properly or not. How we can check? So we go outside of the network and try to hit it. And once we are try to hit it, that means the company have idea we are trying to hit. So we have taken the permission from the company to penetrating, to hitting, to trying to hack, trying to take control on the network. If all the devices are working properly and these are able to stop the attack, that means we can say that everything is fine. So this is what knowing the enemy is what? It's nothing. It's learn about the attackers to stop them early. Company trains staff after hearing about new phishing scam. Okay, so they gives the information to everybody. This type of mail, if you will receive, do not open any link, do not enter any information in this mail. It can be scam. Where does the threat intel come from? Source OSINT, vendor ISACS. Intel comes from free, paid, and shared sources. So company uses free feeds and paid services for thread information. They check the thread information. So sometimes they collect it freely, or sometimes they paid for the to collect the thread information. They pay for it. Thank you. And just in the next session, I will tell you about more about the security. This is what day one security program. And I hope you learn a lot about the cybersecurity basics. And this is what the exam is CompSIA 007, and we will complete it, I think, within 40 days. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next session.